Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Johnny is putting the finishing touches on the base. So this would be part 2. I showed you earlier how he dug the hole, and now he's got roughly 12 tons of 6 to 8 inch rock. He's got it out in that pond. I walked out in that water a while ago, and he's right at the edge of that rock edge. There's 2 foot of water now up on that rock. And now he's going in for the 2 inch base, the fines. And he's got a little bit more big stuff up. I think he's going to try and pick them out. That's what he's doing. Got maybe half a scoop full of the big rock. That's what he's doing. I should have had the guy, when he dumped that, put a little space between it and the fine, but I didn't. That's all right. It'll work out. So Johnny, he's bringing the last of the big down. It's got some, oh yeah. So he's taking the angle out. So when the cattle come in, there's going to be a slight angle. And then he's going to take this big pile of dirt right there and build a slight terrace up there, 3 foot in front of that hump right there. And that's going to divert the water. We don't have a lot of water coming right down into our drinking area right now. Just kind of hold down on erosion. And this will be a heavy use area. This is going to be so cool. I don't care how much it rains, how muddy it gets. We've got a good firm base here to water livestock off of. And we're keeping them from taking baths in the pond. We're going to be able to reach out in that water and get a drink. They're not going to be able to camp out here. You don't want your cows camping out in the pond. Yeah, he's coming after the small stuff now. I used a 2 inch fine, what they call 2 inch clean rock. And it doesn't have any dust in it. And so what rain we do get and debris, it will be able to percolate down through this rock. If you use what they call 2 inch surface, it's got a lot of dirt and fines in it, and it'll seal over like concrete. You don't want that here. You want a 2 inch clean. That's what we're using. I was afraid to go with 1 inch, just being too small. I was afraid it would disappear. I mean, he's putting the rock through her now. Look at that. So we got basically 2 foot of 1 inch rock, or 6 to 8 inch diameter rock, and now we're putting the 2 inch on top of it as a finished surface. And there's going to be 12 tons of that put on. Well, I'm telling you what now, he can make short work out of a rock pile. I wonder how many tons he's got in that bucket each time he fills it up. Golly, look at that. I mean, he goes with a load of rock. He makes sure that thing's full. Wow, look at that. Oh man, it's gonna be so cool. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, Johnny knows his craft. Look at that. There's no big old hump there anymore. It's just a nice gradual. We still got a lot of rock up there, which is going to be cool because I was a little bit concerned about these jagged edges right here sloughing off this dirt. I don't have to worry about that. He's going to fill that up with rock. We got enough rock to do that. I'm loving it. Don't have to worry about cattle getting hung in mud, getting them a drink when the muddy period comes. You know, March mud month. Don't worry about it. If it's frozen, the ice is frozen on the pond, you walk out to the chopping axe, chop the ice off, let the cattle come out on this rock and get them a drink. They don't have to wade in mud up to their belly to get to the hole in the ice that you chopped. And the other beautiful thing about this, folks, there's going to be a wire all the way around this pond. And I want to cover that a little bit. In the wintertime, if you've got an open pond like this and it's frozen, it's got ice on it, you better put a wire around it. Especially in Missouri. Every year we hear people, they lose livestock, whether it's horses, pigs, cattle. My old friend used to raise a lot of hogs. He went out one morning to feed his sows, and the sows had gotten out on the pond and they had fallen through, and there was one of them swimming around underneath the ice. Underneath the ice. Can you imagine the helplessness of that? And he was chasing that hog around on top of that pond with an axe, trying to chop a hole in the pond that big old sow could get her head out of. No matter how many holes he chopped, he couldn't get her out. She drowned. So put a wire around your pond, especially when they get snow on them. Because if you get snow out there on that ice, it looks just like this ground. And animals will walk out on there. It's not the first one that gets you. It's the next 5 or 6 or 7. You know, you get 6,000 to 7,000 pounds of animals walking out there, and they fall through, they're dead. They're not coming out of that pond. They can't. They can't get out of it. So be careful if you got a pond. Make sure you have a good hot wire around it in the wintertime. Don't let them walk out on it. That's just common preventative measure. Well, I mean, he is really making a pad here. Look at this. Wow. That is beautiful, Johnny. Man. See what he did there? He didn't like that big old rock there. I'm telling you, the guy's a surgeon. I'm going to take my foot and kick it out there for him. Get out of the way real quick. Best thing you can do with Johnny's running that thing, stay out of his way. When you get out there, all you do is slowing him up. Boy, now he's got a load of rock on there. Look at that. My goodness. So what we'll do is once we get that thing full and all that, he's got, looks like about 6 or 7 more loads of rock to put on here. He'll take that skid steer and he'll drive back and forth on it and just pack it. And you know, once the animals come in here and start drinking at this, they're going to have mud and different things on their feet. And over time, that rock is going to have a little bit of dirt washed in it. So it's going to be pretty darn smooth. Well, I'm telling you, that 12 ton of surface is just about right. I'd say he's still got probably 3 ton left up there. You get the right tool that can make a quick work out of a very, very tough project. I can't imagine having to wheelbarrow all that rock down here. Golly. You'd want to have a big breakfast and a big dinner and a couple big guys helping you, because you'd run out of energy before you got the rock in there. Boy, oh boy. That's beautiful. You know, Johnny told me a while ago he shut her down and asked me what I thought about it after he got the surface down on the base. And I said, Johnny, you ever done one of these? Nope, never done one. I heard about them, he said, but I'd never done one. Well, I can tell you what, it doesn't, you can't tell by looking at his job here. It looks like he's done a couple dozen of them. This is so awesome. Yeah, fill that in. There you go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tell you what, there's no fun getting a cow stuck in the pond. And I had a little swampy area that actually led down to a creek. And we were custom grazing in those days, and we had a cow. I don't know why. She went down in there, maybe to try and get a drink or eat some of that grass. Anyway, the next morning I came out there, and she'd gotten down in there and got stuck and couldn't get out. And I went and got a halter and put on her, and got a tow rope, and was actually able to pull her out of there. But it took her, I think it was the better part of 2 weeks to get back up on her feet. Folks, when you stretch a cow by pulling on their head like that and get them out of muck, sometimes they never get up. This one did, but it took her about 2 weeks of me carrying water and giving her hay every day till she got her strength back. And I fenced that area off, and I've never let animals in it since. You pull one out of muck, you'll remember it. It is a terrible feeling. Well, folks, that just about wraps it up. He's going to put a finishing touch on this side over here, but you can see we've got a beautiful rock pad. It's going to be here for many, many, many years. We don't have to worry about the cattle getting stuck in muck, trying to get a drink. It's going to be a nice clean surface for their feet. You don't like to get mud froze on the hair of your cows in the wintertime. We don't have to worry about that on this one. There's not going to be any muck froze on their hair because they're standing on a good solid base. Oh, Johnny dropped a rock. There it goes. He got him. Big one. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. It's getting cold out here. We're about to wrap this up. And I'll show you the skirt area that we're going to build next. We're going to have a skirt that comes off of here. It's what they call limited skirt. I'll show you how we build that. We may have to use the boat. It's cold out here. I don't want to wade out in that water, but we'll get her done. We got Ben and Isaac, and we'll figure out a way to do it. So anyway, everyone hit that subscribe button on the way out and that like. I'd really appreciate it, and we're going to see you all down the road.